Hey guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. Today I'm going to be talking about some struggles of weight loss. Alright, so I recorded a whole video, and my microphone was not working. So, hopefully it's working now, which I see the little thing going. It's working. I really wish I could remember exactly how I worded everything because that one was worded really, really well. So let's see if I can be as elegant on this one as I was on that one. But yeah, so like I said, I want to talk about some struggles of weight loss. And you guys know me. You know, I talk more about the mental aspect of it because yes, I share recipes, I give tips, and I use Weight Watchers or I track bites in order to implement my weight loss journey. But ultimately, we all know the basics of how to do it. It is not just knowing how to do it. It's not just picking up the WW app or the iTrackBites app or MyFitnessPal or Lose It, or whichever app. It's not just a matter of picking it up and you're doing it. There's a whole mental aspect to it. You've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to have the willpower. You've got to have the courage. You've got to have the support that you need to actually stick to it and work through it. A lot of times, as I've talked about in the past, you know, when you have anxiety issues or depression issues or any of those, it can make weight loss extra hard. It's not just a matter of following the rules, because if it was, I wouldn't be sitting here at 321-ish pounds. I would be skinny mini. I wouldn't be this body. Nobody would if it was just that simple. There's the whole other aspect to it that matters. And I know you guys all have, or at least most of you have, had the issues from outside sources. Besides the own mental games we play with ourselves, besides our own anxiety issues, besides our own food addictions, the world around us does affect us and how we become the people that we are. I mean, growing up, I was always the fat kid. I wasn't the funny fat kid. I was just the fat kid, the fat dork. People, you know, called me names, you know, fatso, lard ass, all those type of things. And it gets to be part of your identity. It gets to be part of who you are. And so it is a struggle alone just to get in the mindset of, I don't want to be this person anymore. I need to create a new identity. And ultimately, when we are working on losing weight, that is what we're doing. We're creating a whole new us. Because we'll no longer, when we are done with this journey, we will no longer be the fat person. And as weird as it's going to sound, even for me, it's a little bit scary to think about. That's always been part of my identity. Who am I without being the fat person? But that's a whole nother video right there. But yeah, so I want to talk about the influences of people around us. And just as hard as it was before I started this weight loss journey of being the fat guy and getting the name calling, it can sometimes be just as hard once you are actually on the journey. Like, I've mentioned it before, but all the time, still, I get people that, you know, I talk about, you know, I'm down 55.2 pounds. It literally happened like once or twice this week. Majority of the people, I'm not going to lie, the majority of the people are very supportive. But you'll get those people that for some reason can't be happy for somebody else or can't be encouraging of somebody else or supportive. And they'll throw at me, well, yeah, you're a guy. It's easier. Excuse me, Karen? What? Are you in my life? Are you in my head? Have you seen the struggles I've gone through? It's been 8 months, and it has been a very hard 8 months. I struggle weekly, if not daily. Yes, it's easier. And the more success I have, the easier it is to stay motivated, the easier it is to stay focused. But it is not easy. Yes, science does show that guys, when they're first losing weight, can lose quicker than a female because of the more lean muscle in our body that burns fat a little bit quicker. But ultimately, when you have over 150 pounds to lose like I do, that's not enough. It's not miraculously falling off. It is hard work and dedication. If you guys watched my video, my weigh-in video this week, when I actually lost 4 pounds, surprisingly, I was pleasantly surprised. But the day before, I went to a party, and I struggled with that mentally because at this party, pulled out my phone, and I need to update my wallpaper, and I am using the Weight Watchers app while I am walking around at this party where there's food everywhere and scanning and tracking and searching everything that I put in my mouth. When normal people, if it was just so easy being a guy, could just walk in there and grab whatever they wanted and it'd be fine. I even had friends pick up containers so I could scan the bottom because that's where the barcode was on those eclairs. They were really good. But I was tracking everything. And luckily for me, I just want to give another shout out to the group of guys that were there because I am so grateful to have these type of people in my life because that can feel very weird. I was the only person at this entire party. One, the only one that's really overweight. But two, the only person that is picking up food and scanning it or asking people what's in this before I'm willing to put it on my plate so that I can actually type it into my recipe builder or into my tracker. And plus my cell phone signal was slow there, so it was a lot more work. But I was doing it, and that wasn't easy. Like I said, mentally it feels weird being the only person walking around doing that. Everybody else is just grabbing whatever. We were standing around at one point, a group of us, and it's so amazing to just watch while we're talking. Like there was pizza rolls and there were fried ravioli and all this other stuff just there, dip and all this other stuff sitting in the kitchen. And I'm sitting there like anything that I would want to grab, I track first. And just watching people as they're talking, they'll just reach over, grab a pizza roll, pop it in the mouth, keep talking, grab a couple of them, blah, 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 whatever, grab a couple of eclairs, making jokes about the food and whatever, and just eating and just going about their business. As a fat person working on losing weight, it was mind-boggling how easy that they could all just do that and not have an issue at all. It was mind-boggling. But they were super supportive of me. They were telling me how proud of me they were to be able to do that, to have the discipline to do that. And guys, that is a lot of work. That is mentally working yourself hard. And it is worth it because I lost weight that week despite that. And it's not something that is just easy because I'm a guy. And so hopefully you kind of get it. I deal with the same struggles that you guys deal with. It's not some magical thing that having some male organs can magically make it easier for me. So that's just something that it's just been bugging me because I've gotten a couple of that lately. I got it a lot when I first started this, and especially when I mentioned that I lost 140 pounds before, I get that a lot. And it's just mind-boggling because no, it's a struggle. Do you think I would have gotten this big? Do you think there would be as many fat guys out there? If it was so easy, it wouldn't. But it's not just about me being a guy and that issue. I see a lot of struggles in the weight loss community all the time. I see people that only have like say 20 or 30 pounds to lose, and they're talking to somebody that has like 100 pounds to lose. That bigger person, a lot of the time, will tell them to shut up. Literally, I was talking to a customer this week. She was not that big, probably had maybe 20 pounds to lose. She was not big, but I understand. Well, yeah, that's a struggle, especially when you only have like 20 pounds to lose. It's harder to do. It is a little bit easier at my size because my body uses so much energy, so much fuel to keep running. It takes a lot more energy to keep my heart pumping, to keep my lungs working, to keep my muscles working, to have me stand up. That takes so much more energy when you're 321 pounds versus when you're, 180 or whatever she weighs. I don't know. I'm bad at knowing weights. So if you watch this, which I don't think she does, she was a customer, but still, like, I don't know how much you weigh. But it takes a lot less energy. So because your body is not using as much energy, you have to eat even less in order to lose weight. So it makes it very, very difficult. You have to exercise more or eat a whole lot less, or however it works. It is complicated. I get that, and I felt for her. And she thanked me for understanding, for being sympathetic, which first of all is really sad that people have to feel thankful for somebody else being sympathetic. But she told me about this story that, she was talking to one of her friends, and she was a bigger girl and probably had like 100 pounds to lose or so. And she literally told her to shut up because she's like, you're skinny. You can't relate to me. You can't whatever. Everybody's struggle is real. Whether it is 10 pounds or 100 plus pounds, we all have the same common issue. Yes, I was talking to a friend this week about I have a personal issue with the word binge and how it is overused, because there are a lot of people that do overuse it. Like, they ate a sleeve of cookies, so they binged last night, versus my definition of a binge is a lot different. It's a mental thing, and it's a whole lot more food than just a sleeve of cookies. But when I complain about that, I'm complaining about the wording, because I feel like there should be different terminology for it. Like, that person overindulged, not necessarily binged, versus clinical binging is a whole nother story. But I am not degrading that person, or you, if you're that person that, will eat a sleeve of cookies and feel like that's a binge. If it is you feeling out of control, and if it is something that you do not like that you do, I am not discrediting that. That is something that I can understand. We all do. Just because it might be on a different level or different scale from another person does not mean it is any different or unrelatable. So I just wanted to make this video, like, to think about these different points of view and how we're all struggling and we're all doing our hardest to make our lives better. And yes, I was watching Kim, a girl with her phone, and she posted this video because she's having a hard time lately. And I forgot exactly how she worded it, so I'm not going to try to quote her. But basically she was, talking about the fact that just because she messed up or ate more than she should have or whatever, that people would accuse of not wanting to do this. And again, it's not just a matter of wanting to do it. I can want to do something till I'm blue in the face. It does not mean it's going to be easy. And just because if I fall off the bandwagon and I go eat horribly for a week, does not mean I've lost sight of what I want to do. It just means things got really tough and I couldn't do it at that moment. That doesn't mean I'm not going to try my damnedest to get back on the bandwagon and work towards my goals. It just means things were tough and I needed what I needed. Unfortunately, it turned into food instead of other methods, but sometimes that happens. As she said, food can be like a friend, like a long lost friend or grandparent, honestly, is how I see it, where when you're struggling, you can crawl up to it and it'll make you feel better. It's hard replacing that. It's hard finding other things besides that. And just because it happens doesn't mean you've lost sight of what you want. It just means things got really, really tough and you've got to work harder. And that's when you need support from other people. Because, like I said, at this party, I can almost guarantee if I got maybe 2 weird looks for doing what I was doing, I might have just stopped. Don't know if that means I might have just stopped and not ate the entire time, which that was like my first meal. Or I might have just stopped and ate everything. Because technically, I weighed in Saturday morning just in case. Because I was mentally preparing for this and mentally preparing for how weird it's going to be scanning food in front of a bunch of people. A couple of them I had never really met before. So I had weighed in. Luckily, I behaved, and Sunday's weigh-in was actually a lot less than Saturday's. But I was prepared for that. And if I had gone overboard, it does not mean that I gave up. It does not mean that I don't want to get healthy or want to get in shape. It just means it got hard. And so, yeah, so sorry, I should stop apologizing, because pretty much a lot of my videos I go sidetracked. But I just basically want to put it out there so hopefully that we can all think of other people's points of view, because you never know what somebody's going through in their personal life, what they're dealing with, what struggles they've dealt with, are dealing with, are gonna be dealing with. We don't know. And so if we can just take a step back and try to picture different possibilities, it could make everything a lot nicer. Maybe reach out and support that person instead of just instantly trying to shut them down or discredit them. But yeah, so let me know some of your guys' struggles. I'm sure you guys can relate to numerous things that I've mentioned today, but I'm sure there's a bunch of others, and I just want to have a bunch of different points of view out there so that when we are interacting with other people, especially like say in Facebook groups or social media groups in general, when we see somebody's post, maybe we can kind of take from a pool of, oh, this could be an example of what she's going through, and maybe relate a little bit better than just instantly wanting to discredit or whatever. Hopefully, luckily in most of the Facebook groups I am in my personal Facebook group, and from what I see from the comments on my videos, you all are super supportive, super encouraging, but I still think it's something that maybe we should just share with each other. So please do that, and also please like my video, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that little bell so you know when I post other videos. And until Thursday, when I do my motivational meme of the week, I'll talk to you guys later.